As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes? Financial infidelity? I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Do you want better for yourself? I do. Do you? I'll leave certain people alone who bring me down, and then you'll bring somebody who's just like them. Same person, different body. Then you send me signs that I'm not meant to do it alone, but as soon as I get in relationships with people, you telling me that I'm not meant to be around them. Do you want me to have a mental breakdown? You know what? Let me Google psychologist near me, because it's giving BPD. You need help. You need help. Your mind ain't right. Something not right with you. You got me out here living like it's Groundhog Day. We gotta take you to the doctor. For real, man. You need to get yourself checked out. Something not right up there. Oh, I know she ain't talking. And the fact that you in control is very scary. Very scary. Oh, wait. What you mean I'm in control? You in control. I'm you. Yeah, stuck. Look at you, stuck. Huh? Why do you think they call it the universe? Wait. I am you, baby. Everything is you, baby. Everybody you see, you connected to. What you think that makes me? I'm just your inner. The way that you perceive yourself and the way you think your life's supposed to go. I mean that you up, baby. I'm just your higher self. That's all, baby. Come on, be for real, baby. What you thought this was, baby? Be for real, baby. What you thought this was?
Hey, who was that? I loved it. It was locked into what we were talking about. I loved it. Tonight's topic, man. What? Ryan M on Instagram. That was very interesting. It seemed like she was having a conversation with self, right? The higher self versus the lower self. I thought that was quite interesting, right? Again, tonight's topic on the VOR, Voice of Reason, second hour. We already up in here. TikTok is on fire, and so is KBLA's YouTube channel. You know, I used to broadcast on my YouTube channel, and then I decided to go over to TikTok. TikTok is quite active, right? And folks are in the chat discussing tonight's topic, which is the Truman Show, the spiritual Truman Show of intimate relationships. And we're talking about this, I guess, divinely fine-tuned cast of characters that you find around yourself, right? For you to grow. Now, like I said, these people could, as Joseph Campbell in his Hero's Journey illustrated, they could show up as mentors, but not all mentors feel good. I say a mentor is a mirror, right? So they show up as various kinds of relationships that kind of reflect different aspects of yourself back to you. And this is your life. This is your journey. But these, intimate mirrors show up to teach, to evolve you. And my niece is on the line. She's talking about it right now. So, and I'm asking these questions as well. 1-800-920-1580. Call in and join the discussion. What does repeated relational failure preserve, right? What does it preserve when it coexists with the self-concept of evolution? Meaning, if I'm learning, if I'm growing, I'm growing, right? It doesn't matter if the relationship fails or not, right? What does repeated relational failure preserve when it coexists with a self-concept of evolution? If it's I'm growing, then it doesn't preserve anything. You learned a lesson and you were able to carry that lesson on to the next. I always say, especially for impermanent relationships or relationships that are corners or stepping stones. That's how I framed it in the Relationship Dismount book in 2015. You know, you have a cornerstone relationship, you have stepping stone relationships. You learn something in the stepping stone relationships, you take the lesson on to the next. Cornerstone relationships, you just keep learning from each other, and those tend to be, more lasting, long-lasting relationships. So I'm interested to know who's in your life and what role are they playing, right? What recurring relational outcome remains statistically precise across different people, contexts, and intentions, and what personal advantage depends on that consistency holding? This is a heavy. Why they gotta be? How come they gotta show up the same way and stay that way? Right? What recurring relational outcomes remain statistically precise across different people, contexts, and intentions? And what personal advantage depends on that consistency holding? Don't change. Don't be nothing different now. Listen, my niece is on the line. Attila from Houston, Texas. Attila, are you listening to this stuff?
I sure am. I'm listening. I'm looking at comments and help.
So, the superficial stuff in relationships is, we just need better communication. Right? Right. We just need lots of money and good communication and sex, and everything is good. But what happens when the stuff within starts to bubble to the surface? Talk to me about.
As you say in your book in where am I? Lighthouse, child. Shrouded Lighthouse. Why am I forgetting the title of the book? As you say in Shrouded Lighthouse, there is a planned obsolescence. And I think ultimately, the more we strive for lower than what it is we truly need and truly deserve, the more obsolescence you're going to have.
Wait, say that again, because that was deep.
Yeah, the more we are okay and comfortable and striving for an existence that's lower than what we deserve and are supposed to have, the more obsolescence you're going to have, because it has to agitate in order for you to get to where you're supposed to be, right? Otherwise, that's a contradiction.
Well, Theo is saying, and this is interesting, Theo is talking about vetting out issues.
That's defensive, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you can, when you say vet out issues, are you saying to vet the person so that you can avoid issues? Because that is impossible. You'll be sitting there all day.
That's
people bring
come on
and problems because that is supposed to grow you. Without the issues and problems, there is no growth. So what are you asking for? Are you asking for a relationship that can transcend your ego and, more importantly, take you to where you're supposed to go? Spiritually, mentally, physically, all of the things? Or are you asking for something that's comfortable where you don't have any issues? That's my question.
Let me ask you this.
Because that doesn't work.
No, let me ask you this. Are you telling me that people typically vet other people to fit their unhealed status?
100%.
So it's not I'm vetting you out to see if you can disrupt my wounds, right? Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not vetting you for that. If you can actually, mirror back to me the work that I'm responsible for doing on myself, shouldn't we be vetting in that direction? No, I think we vet in the opposite direction. You got to keep me and my wounds at peace. Is that how it works? Talk to me.
100%. Not only do you have to keep my wounds at peace, my ego still needs to survive this. I got to be able to come out with my ego intact because my ego, as far as my lower self is concerned, is my identity. That's who I am. So if you come and disrupt that, you're essentially starting within me a tower moment, right? A dark night of the soul. People don't really be wanting that like that. Not really, no.
Listen. Okay, I hear you. But let me ask, why is this type of talk so sparse in the relationship, podcast, radio world? Why aren't people talking about like this real work that we talked about it in earlier episodes of 26 where we're talking about the disruptor. The one is the disruptor that actually breaks the patterns, and we tend to run from those people. Why is it that everybody is talking about the most superficial and banal kind of, relationship content nowadays?
Well, okay. So someone, I think this is Crystal, she said it doesn't attract the masses and everybody wants vitality, not truth. I would say what they perceive to be vitality.
So that's
right?
that's the same thing as people mistaking intensity for chemistry. Intimate,
but I would also say the other side, it goes back to what I was saying, where you have to make space for people in that process. She said virality. I agree with that too. Both words.
I think they both work. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like people can only speak from the space that they understand. Like if that's what they understand, if that is their experience and their Truman Show is based on trips and dinners and let them have it. I don't care anymore. I do not care. You are okay being where you are and what fits you. That may not work for me, and I will exit stage left. See how I'm just a supporting member of their cast? I'm just an extra in that. I'm there to kind of spark that light that match, and then get on out. I realized that about myself, and I'm okay with it.
But see, this goes back to this generational piece. I think Gen X and Boomers, and I think we were taught, like, cultivate meaning. Like, meaning matters.
Disagree.
Internally.
I think you guys were taught to cultivate meaning within a box, within a certain framework. When you talk about like respectability politics and things like that, like there are certain things that newer generations are dismantling that I think are good for the collective.
Give me an example.
Things that we are dismantling that are horrible, right?
Give me an example.
For example, the acceptance. Yeah, for example, the acceptance of LGBT folk. Right? Things like that. That to me is more so about allowing another person's process. Because even though that might not be your story, that is someone else's story. And the newer generations are starting to say, you know what, I might not actually be a part of that. However, I accept that is your story. And, we allow it. And I think that there's limits to that, right? There is a point where our generation goes too far, right? But ultimately, I think all of it kind of works together. But I think when you see it in a more antagonistic framework where, they're tearing down the work that we've done, like that helps no one. And more importantly, it robs previous generations of mentorship, space to really show gratitude, space to essentially be more authentic about your truth and what your experience really has been, not the framework of what it looks like in the end when everything is okay. I hope that makes sense.
No, hey, listen, my daughter is in the chat. She's giving you the clock it. Hands.
Love you, Prima.
I love seeing the interaction. Again, I do believe that sometimes spirituality can become so nebulous to people that it's not tangible. It's ephemeral. It's not something that can just really be grasped, right? In a logical, linear kind of way. And I think because it's like that, man, it's very difficult to kind of understand the meaning of what relationship is for. Like when we sit here and say, hey, relationship is a mirror, you could see yourself psychologically in that mirror. But we haven't been trained to walk into a relationship looking for our own reflection coming back. How does your generation spot that reflection?
Ooh, I would say at this particular time, so I'm a millennial. At this particular time, what I'm seeing in terms of spotting that reflection is, I hate to say it, it's through dissatisfaction and anger with the state of our world, of our society, of our lives in general. Like, I think that's kind of the beginning of saying, okay, but this is actually, yes, society is bad, but this is also reflecting the internal processes that are going on within you and in your relationships. I think we have yet to really, like, connect to that step, because it's one thing to have a righteous anger, but it's another thing to have a true understanding and authentic support for truths that you can't really express yet, if that makes sense.
I love it. Now, give me two, before I let you go, give me two examples of lessons that you learned in your own personal Truman Show.
Oh, one that is really painful for me right now, my gosh, is letting people help me. Like, I'm realizing that I was not allowing people to really be there for me, but at the same time, upset that people weren't there for me. So that's number one. That's kind of the paradox there. Number two, I think, is just allowing what is, even though it's uncomfortable. I think you told me this like 2 years ago. I was talking to you about a relationship, and you were like, you just have to allow it. And I'm like, no, because I wanted to control, and I wanted to, again, have a certain outcome in a way that suited me. And I guess in my mind, I'm thinking that it would suit both of us. But ultimately, there was a deeper truth there that I think I needed to just acknowledge. And that was that I could not allow something that I'm fearful of. I had to take the fear out of it. And I'm no longer afraid. So there you go.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Nikki from the SIP on our YouTube channel, Tapped In 9837, says, many folks are not that deep nowadays. I have to agree with her. I think
100%.
Yeah.
Allow it. It's okay.
See,
let them be dumb. Let them be whatever it is that. And I think that's the thing. We judge, right? We look at them and say, well, that's that, instead of just being like, that's their process.
Yeah.
Like,
but you know, Krishnamurti, he warned against this. He said, where there is no psychological revolution, but there is a technological revolution, he said, if technology surpasses our spirituality, we're going to be a slave to it. And we're going to be a slave to all that it creates. So he was talking about television and films and movies and travel. Like we're more technologically advanced than we are psychologically advanced as a culture. And I think that actually lends to the disconnect in intimate relationships. But guess what you just did, young lady? You cooked. You cooked. I love throwing you them alley-oops. I know you're going to hit them out the park. Guess what you just did, sweetheart?
All right, Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is on the board. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me. 1-800-920-1580.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency on low Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to partner with the Empowerment Congress once again for their 34th annual summit. The summit's theme is From Vision to Action, a forum to unlock participatory democracy, and will feature a nonpartisan gubernatorial candidate forum focused on issues of importance to the African American community. The summit is the signature public policy-oriented observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy during the national 3-day holiday weekend that celebrates his life. This year's summit will be held on Saturday, January 17th, 2026 at the California Science Center in Exposition Park from 9 to 11 a.m. Admission is free, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. All major announced candidates for California governor for the Democratic and Republican Party nominations have been invited to participate in the candidate forum, which will be moderated by Tavis Smiley. An all-star panel of journalists will pose questions to the candidates, and the forum will be broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580. This is going to be a big year for local, state, and national politics. The political pulse of 2026 beats on KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, jam, Teddy, jam for me, yeah.
So, Andy, this is the Jet Magazine playlist, right? 1988. Come on. Junior year high school?
Do I want to learn about myself? Do I want to know, actually not theoretically, is it my deep, committed, irrevocable interest to know myself? Is that it? Is that what you have? Irrevocable. That you are so completely committed. Huh? Now, just a minute, sir. What is there to learn about myself? Nothing. Right? There's absolutely nothing I have to learn about myself. Because myself is nothing. I've put lots of things on it. On this nothing, I've education, science, philosophy, all the things you follow, piled it on, all the things religions have said, which are the most destructive things that what religions have done. They put all this on me, on this essentially nothing. And we are battling, struggling on these things. You follow? About these things.
Man, Krishnamurti. Then he's laying it out flat. How interested are you in learning yourself? We've been talking about it. Many people are interested in running away from themselves. And I've always said one of the most difficult or one of the most problematic places to hide is an intimate relationship. Right? People think because they haven't uttered a lie that they're not living a lie. Relationship is designed to push you towards individuation. All right? But if you're resisting individuation and you're acting like this is all you want, or you're not bothered, or you're not going to deal with these inner parts of yourself, then that's living a lie. That's breathing, walking. You're embodying a lie because you're much more than that. And you're using the relationship to get the surface level. And that's fine if you so choose to do that. Many people think life happens to them. That belief keeps the cameras rolling. Every day, the same scenes replay. Different faces, same emotional outcome. No coincidence. Collaboration. Calibration. You wake up inside a relational environment already tuned to your habits, your tolerances, your unspoken deals. The world does not improvise, it compensates. Every person around you adjusts, right? Just enough to keep your inner equilibrium intact. Someone absorbs your unpredictability. You got somebody for that. Someone else cushions your avoidance. You got somebody for that. Someone else translates your silence. You'll call that chemistry. You know, we all work well together. The universe calls it load balancing. Here's the part that nobody really wants to delve into, or that no one really likes here. They don't like this part. When your patterns stay consistent, reality fine-tunes around them until someone else pays the difference. The cost never disappears, simply relocates. People exit your life not because fate intervenes, but because the system reaches insolvency. When I come forward, the voice of reason will go even deeper. Let's get it.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey says there's a deep mistrust of federal agencies following last week's deadly ICE shooting.
There is deep mistrust because so many of the things that we are hearing are not true.
Speaking on NBC's Meet the Press, Frey called for state agencies to join the investigation as protests continue over the death of 37-year-old Renee Good, and local leaders dispute the federal version of events. President Trump is criticizing the Civil Rights Act of 1964, saying it led to white people, quote, being very badly treated, end quote, and caused reverse discrimination. He pointed to the Supreme Court's 2023 affirmative action ruling to defend his stance. And Tiana Taylor made history at the 83rd Annual Golden Globe Awards, winning Best Supporting Actress for one battle after another. In her speech, she shared an empowering message about self-worth and representation for women of color. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready?
Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from Nits and the Ad Council.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Is it enough for men to know that he exists? Is it enough to be formed a human being to enable him to deserve the appellation of man? It is our decided impression and conviction that to become a genuine spiritual entity, which that designation implies, man must first create himself anew, so to speak, i.e., thoroughly eliminate from his mind and spirit not only the dominating influence of selfishness and other impurity, but also the infection of superstition and prejudice. The latter is far different from what we commonly term antipathy or sympathy. We are at first irresistibly or unwittingly drawn within its dark circle by that peculiar influence, that powerful current of magnetism which emanates from ideas as well as from physical bodies. By this we are surrounded, and finally prevented through moral cowardice, fear of public opinion, from stepping out of it. It is rare that men regard a thing in either its true or false light, accepting the conclusion by the free action of their own judgment. Quite the reverse. The conclusion is more commonly reached by blindly adopting the opinion current at the hour among those with whom they associate. A church member will not pay an absurdly high price for his pew any more than a materialist will go twice to listen to Mr. Huxley's talk on evolution, because they think that it is right to do so, but merely because Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so have done it. The same holds good with everything else. If psychology had had its Darwin, the descent of man as regards moral qualities might have been found inseparably linked with that of his physical form. Society in its servile condition suggests to the intelligent observer of its mimicry a kinship between the simia and human beings even more striking than is exhibited in the external marks pointed out by the great anthropologist. The many varieties of the ape, mocking presentments of ourselves, appear to have been evolved on purpose to supply a certain class of expensively dressed persons with the material for genealogical trees. Science is daily and rapidly moving toward the great discoveries in chemistry and physics, organology, and anthropology. Learned men ought to be free from preconceptions and prejudices of every kind, yet, although thought and opinion are now free, scientists are still the same men as of old. An utopian dreamer is he who thinks that man ever changes with the evolution and development of new ideas. The soil may be well fertilized and made to yield with every year a greater and better variety of fruit, but dig a little deeper than the stratum required for the crop, and the same earth will be found in the subsoil as was there before the first fruit.
I love that. Who was that? I listen to these as you listen to them.
So it's an audio book by H.P. Blavatsky, ISIS.
That's why that sounded like that. It's an audio book by H.P. Blavatsky. And what ISIS unveiled? That's what that was. Ah, okay. Very interesting. The author is a woman. H.P. Blavatsky is a woman. This is interesting stuff. You know, I don't pick the clips. I'm just as shocked as you are, but it's very good stuff. So we were discussing. My niece was on the line, and we were discussing this whole relationship thing. I've been watching all of the clips. People have been sending me clips about, women, presenting themselves at a certain age, not looking right. And I'm going to say this. We got to stay away from the internet, y'all. We got to stay away from, because the internet, it drives off of trauma, right? Drama and trauma, sensationalism, right? So again, we have to be mindful of what we're taking in. Like what you take in psychologically, you can also kind of like mirror that with what you eat physically. If you have a poor diet, your body is going to show that. If you have a poor mental diet, like what you're consuming, your mind is going to show that too. And I think it's important that we stay away from topics that are divisive, that are negative, especially towards one another. Now, when we come back to, this human relationship issue, tonight's topic, the spiritual Truman Show of relationships. What does that mean? You are the star of your own show. And every relationship that you've ever had, the people that come into your life have invaluable lessons to teach you, even unbeknownst to them. Of course, unbeknownst to you, because you think you're choosing, but you don't know what level of consciousness you're choosing from. Human relationships reveal structure, not destiny. Repetition signals tuning, not imprisonment. While relational outcomes often recur with unsettling precision, they do not lock consciousness into inevitability. Listen, you can heal if you would just look at yourself and accept yourself honestly. Listen, I've been a mess for many years. I only started cleaning up my act in my late 30s. And believe me, like landing a 747, right? It's a process. It takes a minute to get on the ground. Don't you know? And 20 minutes before we get into LAX, that 20 minutes is probably the longest 20 minutes of your life. Listen, healing oneself, accepting oneself as they are, it's a difficult process. But just because you're unhealed, it doesn't mean your consciousness is locked into inevitability. It's not. Sometimes you can get shocked into change, into transformation. And relationships are designed to do that, right? We talk about fine-tuning all the time. Fine-tuning explains stability. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't surrender to the process and then break free of it. Physics offers a useful but limited analogy. Universal constants permit matter to cohere within narrow tolerances. Yet, complexity arises through sensitivity, emergence, and disruption. Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes surrendering disrupts the whole system. You've heard that saying, this too shall pass, but only if you surrender. Surrender to what, Zoe? How many times you fight the lesson when it comes into your life? The lesson shows up and you push back. The person shows up, and this person is a reenactment of many other persons you've dated that are similar to some degree. You push back as if it's still their fault. What aspect of you keeps calling in this type of person? Do you see? Right? Human intimacy follows a similar kind of logic. Attachment strategies, nervous system thresholds, and identity protections. Listen to that. Identity protections behave just like adjustable parameters rather than immutable laws. Calibration explains why patterns stabilize. Agency explains how they change. Each person awakens inside a relational environment already shaped by their history, their conditioning, their culture, and power. Others adapt, sometimes unconsciously, to preserve equilibrium. Yet compensation does not distribute evenly. At the end of the day, when we get into a relationship with someone, the purpose is for us to be able to observe ourselves without judgment so that we can take account of who we are in that moment, how much work has been done or how much work has been neglected. All of the people around you, even at work, even family, are mirroring back to you opportunities to pick up this work. Does that make sense? When we come forward, speaking of landing the plane, Zoe's about to do it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Watch out.
Yo, 1988 was tripping. Who is this? I have an idea. Midnight Star. Wait, who else we got? Come on, because this ain't one of their hits. Who is this? Wait, no, let it play. Let it play. Hold on. This is Jet Magazine, 1988. Oh no, who's it? Luther Vandross. Hey, I think Luther, Teddy Pendergrass, Donny Hathaway, Stevie Wonder. Those are the GOATs. Oh, Marvin Gaye, can't forget him. Wait, they had records by Vesta on this playlist, didn't they? Vesta had a good year.
What did baby say?
This can't be it. This can't be the good record. This was an interesting year.
Turn me up just a little bit more.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR back in the building. You already know what it is. My playlist is my co-host. We have a clip. Let's get it.
And you cannot be genuinely loving by intending to love. Either you love someone or you don't. If you pretend to love a person, you deceive them and build up reasons for resentment. So you say, well, I ought to be honest. That's the beginning of, so many lies you can't imagine. It's like when I hear a lot said about love, the big love thing on the way. Everybody's got to love everybody. Everybody sings songs about love. Do you know what I do? I buy a gun and bar my door because I know there's a storm of hypocrisy brewing. So let's look at this thing from another point of view, which you will at first think highly depressing. Let's supposing we can't do anything to change ourselves. Suppose we're stuck with it. Now that is the worst thing an American audience can hear. There's no way of improving yourself. Because every kind of culture in this country is dedicated to self-improvement. Just take jogging, that deplorable practice. It's a very nice thing to run and to go dancing across the hills at a fast speed. But these joggers are shaking their bones and rattling their brains with running on their heels.
Again, we love Alan Watts. Let me just say, man, for 2026, we have to start taking intimacy more serious. You can't be intimate with your partner until you're intimate with yourself. And I don't mean it in a weird way. I mean seeing into oneself as one is, not trying to perform our way past our partner's defenses in order to connect. I think that's the problem. You know, we have to remember, if you haven't done any type of work, right, and you're listening to this show, every human being wakes up inside of, you know, a proverbial set that's already built for a relationship. That set is your modeling. You modeled something in childhood, right? And you take it into your adult relationships, right? So if you're insecure, you're strategizing. If you're strategizing, you're performing something. If you're performing, the lights are on. The cast is assembled. The narrative is in motion. It's not a prison. It's not a punishment. It's a configuration, right? The mistake starts when someone believes they entered a shared movie instead of a private one. Each person occupies center frame in their own production. Individuation is self-work, right? Healing, acknowledging, what needs to be healed and worked on. That's self-work. So each person occupies center frame. You're the star of your own production, right? I'm an extra in yours. You're an extra in mine. Everyone else appears as supporting cast. Never extras, never props. Sometimes extras and sometimes props, but never the star of the story. Confusion begins the moment someone demands central billing in a narrative they do not author. The nervous system learns this early. Attachment does not ask whether the set feels fair. It asks whether the set feels predictable. Safety prefers repetition over truth. The psyche chooses the familiar pain over unfamiliar freedom, over unfamiliar self-agency. The choice initiates the first threshold, crossing of the journey, long before anyone names it a journey. In the early act, the world feels personal. Every encounter carries emotional charge. Every reaction feels justified. The hero believes circumstances shape identity rather than expose it. Listen, if you don't break out of the set, how will you ever know what unconditional love is? How will you ever know what it means to be totally present without the residue of your past? If you can't see your past for what it is, you know how many people had a toxic experience with their parents, but because they had two parents, they can't recognize the toxicity? Heavy stuff, man. Listen, as always, the voice of reason starts the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. We're at the start of the week. You already know I got 3 more slappers locked and loaded, ready to go. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow with another barn burner.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree.